to go over is this right here, which is a blue face sky dweller. This is actually the latest piece that I picked up. And this, along with the steel Daytona, the white face Daytona, from my understanding, are the two hardest watches to get from Rolex at retail, except for, you know, like a rainbow Daytona or something like that, you know, in their steel category, which is basically, you know, the hardest category to get pieces for. And this is Rolex's most complicated watch, and there's not much else that I can say about it. It's a 42 millimeter, and I have really large wrists, so that fits totally fine for me. It's a little thicker, which I don't like, but then again, like, I don't like the thickness of this compared to, for example, a Daytona or some of the GMT models, or some of my sub models. But at the end of the day, what do you expect when, you know, this is such a complicated watch, and the complication in here, paired with just the simplicity of how they do it, is, you know, I have a lot of admiration for this watch. So yeah, this hasn't gotten, well, it's gotten a lot of wrist time since I bought it, but it hasn't gotten, you know, a year, you know, 6 months, a year of wrist time. So I'm still building my bond with this watch right here. The next watch we have right here is actually the only Rolex steel piece, basically actually the only Rolex that I had to buy at market value. So I actually paid, I think, 13,000 pounds for this, and I think market value right now is around 12.8 or something. So I you know, if I was to sell this piece, I would lose a bit of money. But this is the Batman right here, and this is actually the old Oyster bracelet. I prefer this a lot more with this watch. Now with the Pepsi right here, 100%, I think you gotta go for the Jubilee bracelet. Like, this just suits the Pepsi much better. Whereas the Batman, I think 100% you gotta go for the Oyster bracelets. One thing I love about this bracelet, which is the same as like the Daytona, as well as the Sky Dweller right here, is the way that the bracelet works. I prefer it much more than the Submariner. The Submariner is just the, I think it's just the brushed stainless steel, whereas this has like the, I forget the technical name for it, but it's got the brushed stainless steel along with the different sort of center links. And what can I say about this watch? I have put this thing through the works. I mean, there's a lot of scratches on this thing. There's one big scratch here. And I remember I was in Bali in the pool, and there was like 50 people at the villa, and we were just having a huge pool party. And I was just super drunk getting into the pool. It was like a Olympic sized pool, and I scratched the inside bit here. And I know for a lot of people, they freak out and this and that, but for me, whenever I look at that, I think of that memory. So I really don't like to baby my watches. For me, a watch has a heart, it has a heartbeat, it has a, you know, it's there to be used. It's a tool. So that is my Batman. Moving on to the next watch right here. This is the Timex Q 1978 reissue. And very funny bracelet, as you can see right here. You put it on like this, you twist it here, you thread it through, and this is potentially one of the most uncomfortable watches on earth. They do this thing where it snags like your arm hair, and it's not very comfortable, to be honest, but this is actually a gift from my ex-girlfriend. And yeah, I think, you know, anytime you receive a watch as a gift, it's just that much more special. Is that I gift watches to so many people. And I remember one of my closest friends back in 2018, so this is almost two and a half years ago. It's funny, it seemed like in my first 2 years of making money, I would spend more money on other people than I did myself. I actually bought him a Rolex Datejust blue dial steel. You know, in my opinion, the best watch in that sort of price range that you could actually buy at that price range. You know, fits for literally every single occasion. I bought him that watch when I was 18. So, you know, going all the way from Rolexes that I bought for friends to just cute little watches that I bought for clients and this and that. I think it doesn't matter what watch it is. I think it's always a little bit more special when someone buys it for you. But I love this watch, and I've actually gifted this watch, as I said, to like 6-7 people, especially if you don't know much about watches. I think if you know much about watches and, you know, you compare the shitty bracelet and this and that, you can find some flaws with it. But if you don't know much about watches, then I think this is the coolest watch ever. I think it's awesome. I love the shape of it. I love the style. You know, I think it's a very reasonable watch. This right here, as I said, I don't know the reference number. It is the Casio G-Shock. I think, you know, most G-Shocks are just massive, and I have huge wrists, but you know, I'm not about that life. So yeah, this is just super sleek. I actually took this with me to Nepal. As many of you guys know, I take a large part of my profits from the education company and use that to build schools in underdeveloped countries. So when I took myself and some of the team out at the end of last year, I actually brought this watch. Super rugged, you know, managed to uphold the, you know, 7 hours of driving through the most ridiculous terrain you've ever seen in your entire life. And all in all, amazing, amazing watch. So ladies and gents, that wraps up my $500,000 watch collection video. I apologize that I can't have every single piece with me here. There's one other watch that I have that I didn't mention. So I actually have a Daytona. I have a Daytona black face, which I actually prefer over the white face, even though technically the white face is like 2,000 more, or at least in terms of market value. I much prefer the black dial, which is funny because now I can't get it for myself. So basically, I got a Daytona last year at retail and I gave it to my mother. So my mother actually has my Daytona and I gifted her that watch. I think it's such a special watch, especially for like when I see a girl with a Daytona on, like to me, it is the top of the top. Like I just don't think there's any more of a boss watch that a woman can have than a Daytona. So she has the black face Daytona, and that kind of leads on to the pieces that I'm trying to get right now. The next watch that I'm in line for, or I'm gunning to get, or at least at retail. Obviously, as you guys know, I'm trying to get that rose gold Nautilus at retail, and there's a couple pieces from Richard Mille that I'm also trying to get at retail. Next watch that at least looks like it'll be decently close on the horizon is a platinum Daytona. So as I said, you know, the regular Daytona costs $10,000 at retail. The platinum Daytona costs $60,000 at retail. To the untrained eye, or to someone who knows nothing about watches, you would never know, you know, if you've got it both on the wrist. But the platinum Daytona comes in this beautiful, beautiful, I think they call it ice blue dial, and it's just incredible. It's incredible. I'm so excited and hopeful that I get the call up for that soon. The other watch outside of that I'm trying to get is a blue Milgauss. As I said, I have all these different watch books from all the different brands lying around my house, and I was just looking through here and I was looking at the Milgauss, and that and the steel Yachtmaster with the platinum dial, those are two watches that I've actually always wanted to get. So you know, I decided why not put my name on the list for that. Should be getting that. You know, that's not super hard watch to get, so should be getting that relatively soon. So those two watches, and then the next on the list is actually a steel Daytona. So basically what happened with that is after my blue Sky Dweller, I was obviously looking to get the steel Daytona, but I got super impatient because I knew that it would be, you know, I literally went from getting the hardest watch to get at retail to trying to get the next hardest watch to get at retail. Even dial variation wise, like the white dial is much harder to get, even though I personally prefer the black dial, but I can't get another black dial because I already got one from Rolex at retail and I ended up giving it to my mom. I ended up getting impatient about the steel Daytona, so I actually put my name down for the platinum Daytona, which I should be getting a lot sooner. It's not as hard, but still a very hard watch to get. So ladies and gents, that wraps it up. So as I said, I hope that you guys watch this video with a bit of inspiration. And as I said, for those of you guys who have not watched my 0 to Millionaire with SMMA video, I strongly recommend you watch that video because that gives you context for all the years of struggle and effort that I documented everything. I documented everything from sending proposals, having meetings, having rejections, signing my first client for 300 pounds a month. Or sorry, it's 380 pounds a month. All the way in 2016 to now in 2020, as I said, clocking in 100K months. Literally, in that video, you see clips that I've already posted from longer YouTube videos where I have call breakdowns where you see me closing 25K 2-day trainings, or where you see me closing 12K a month retainers. All of that is covered in that behemoth 1 hour and a half video. And as I said, hopefully that gives you lens and that gives you context for the work that it's taken to get to this point. And you know, I think whatever it is in life that you want, splurge and do it sensibly. As many of you guys know, I don't own a car. To me, that is a huge liability. That's just, I don't want to spend money on something like that. Whereas my watches to me are investments, they're my passion. They're just, this isn't something I do for vanity. This is something that I love, you know. I love the craftsmanship that goes into it. So guys, the last thing to mention before I end off this video, obviously I've been uploading quite a lot this week, and I want to mention that at the time of recording this, you actually only have 72 hours left to get the discount on Agency Incubator. We're doing a Black Friday discount. We have actually never done a discount on Agency Incubator, or at least since it launched. So it's been a year. I've had tons of people ask, can you do a discount here, this, that? We just don't do it. When you have the best product in the market and you have the testimonials to match, and you guys have seen on my extended channel, I literally for a year have been interviewing students making up to 100K a month profit, and making 100K a month profit, 20K a month profit, 50K a month profit. But a lot of people just, you know, signing a couple clients and being able to quit their job from that. When you got such an incredible product, you just don't need to do that many discounts. But But I know that a lot of you guys are going to be tempted by a TV or this gadget or this gadget or this piece of clothing. And a lot of people waste a lot of money on Black Friday. So rather than that, why don't you invest in a program where this time next year, rather than scrounging and saving for that TV or that laptop you want, instead, why don't you invest yourself so this way next year, you're not going to have to wait until Black Friday to buy the TV or the things that you want. Every single day will be Black Friday to you because you're going to have the financial independence to do whatever the hell you want, whenever the hell you want to do it. And that's where the long-term thinking comes in. So as I said, only 72 more hours to claim that $200 discount on Agency Incubator. I hope you guys have all enjoyed this video. I hope it's inspired you. As I said, I'm sorry I couldn't have my full collection with me, but we tried to throw in as many clips and stuff so that way, as I said, you can get an understanding of the collection as humanly possible. So hope you guys enjoyed. I will see all the new students who have enjoyed their $200 discount inside of Agency Incubator and on Monday's live Q&A call where you get unmuted and you can ask me anything you want. We're literally speaking one-on-one on Zoom. So looking forward to speaking with you guys. I'll see you there.